You are standing in a forest. No phone, no internet, no one to ask. In front of you, hundreds of plants. Some will feed you, some will kill you. How do you know which is which? Here's the strange part. Your ancient ancestors solved this every single day. And the system they used is still running inside you right now. Let's find out what it was. Your tongue is a poison detector. Humans carry 25 bitter taste receptors on the tongue. They are called TAS, 2RS. Evolution did not put them there by accident. Most plant toxins taste bitter. Your tongue evolved to detect that bitterness and trigger a rejection response. Before the thought forms, the mouth is already spitting. That was the first line of defense. Not intelligence, not memory, reflex. But bitter was only the beginning. Plants use color as a warning system too. Bright red berries, vivid yellow skins, deep purple leaves, strong color signals something. Sometimes it signals danger, sometimes it signals nutrition. Your ancestors learned to read those signals over thousands of generations, and that reading became instinct. But here's the part that will surprise you. Ancient humans did not figure this out alone. They watched. Specifically, they watched animals. If a bird ate a berry and survived, it was probably safe. If a monkey ate a root and walked away fine, noted. This was not guesswork. This was systematic observation. University of Saskatchewan researchers found that watching animal behavior around plants was a consistent survival strategy across ancient and indigenous communities worldwide. Subscribe. But observation only gets you so far. Some plants are safe in small amounts and deadly in large ones. Some are safe cooked but lethal raw. Some only become toxic after they flower. No amount of watching a bird eat a berry tells you that. So, how did ancient humans figure out those nuances? Trial and error. Slow, generational, sometimes fatal trial and error. But here's what made it survivable. They never trialed alone. The knowledge was shared. Immediately, verbally, socially. When someone in the group got sick from a plant, everyone in the group knew by nightfall. When an elder discovered that boiling a root removed its toxicity, and that information became embedded in the group's knowledge system. This is why anthropologists who study ancient communities consistently find that the oldest women in hunter-gatherer groups carry the most detailed plant knowledge. They were the living encyclopedias, decades of observation, experience, and inherited knowledge stored in memory and passed forward. Researchers from the University of Oxford and Edinburgh examined a Neolithic settlement near Lake Ohrid in North Macedonia dated to around 4,500 BCE. They found evidence that people were systematically detoxifying bitter vetch, a plant mildly toxic when raw, by processing it before eating. They were not just eating what was in front of them, they were doing food science, 4,500 years before anyone wrote a chemistry textbook. Now, here is the layer most people never think about. Your disgust response is ancient plant knowledge running in the background. When you smell something rotting and feel revulsion, that is not a modern reaction. When you look at a moldy berry and feel your appetite vanish, that is thousands of years of encoded information. The smell of rot signals microbial activity that can cause illness. The sight of unusual discoloration signals chemical change. These responses were not learned in a classroom. They were selected for across hundreds of thousands of years because the individuals who had them survived, and the individuals who did not, did not. Your body contains a complete archive of every mistake your ancestors made and survived. Every bitterness reflex, every color aversion, every disgust response. Each one is a lesson that cost someone, somewhere, something, and it was passed forward, not written down, encoded in you. The forest your ancestors stood in is gone, but the system they built to navigate it is still running. Every time you recoil from something that smells wrong. Every time a bright, unrecognized berry makes you hesitate. Every time bitterness makes you spit before you think. That is not you being cautious. That is 50,000 years of field research. Drop a comment. Have you ever eaten something wild and immediately regretted it? Like, share, subscribe. Your taste buds are older than language. Treat them with some respect.